The Last Boy Scout, 1991. A private detective's protected female witness is murdered, prompting him and the victim's boyfriend to investigate the crime that leads to a corrupt politician and a crooked football team owner. Taken, 2008. A retired CIA agent travels across Europe and relies on his old skills to save his estranged daughter, who has been kidnapped while on a trip to Paris. True Lies. A fearless, globe-trotting, terrorist-battling secret agent has his life turned upside down when he discovers his wife might be having an affair with a used car salesman while terrorists smuggle nuclear warheads into the United States. Mission: Impossible, Ghost Protocol. The IMF is shut down when it's implicated in the bombing of the Kremlin, causing Ethan Hunt and his new team to go rogue to clear their organization's name. Fast 5. Dominic Toretto and his crew of street racers plan a massive heist to buy their freedom while in the sights of a powerful Brazilian drug lord and a dangerous federal agent. Baby Driver. After being coerced into working for a crime boss, a young getaway driver finds himself taking part in a heist doomed to fail. Lethal Weapon. Two newly paired cops who are complete opposites must put aside their differences in order to catch a gang of drug smugglers. Dunkirk. Allied soldiers from Belgium, the British Commonwealth and Empire, and France are surrounded by the German army and evacuated during a fierce battle in World War II. RoboCop. In a dystopic and crime-ridden Detroit, a terminally wounded cop returns to the force as a powerful cyborg haunted by submerged memories. Speed. A young police officer must prevent a bomb exploding aboard a city bus by keeping its speed above 50 miles per hour. Predator. A team of commandos on a mission in a Central American jungle find themselves hunted by an extraterrestrial warrior. Run Lola Run. After a botched money delivery, Lola has 20 minutes to come up with 100,000 Deutschmarks. Face Off. To foil a terrorist plot, an FBI agent assumes the identity of the criminal who murdered his son through facial transplant surgery, but the crook wakes up prematurely and vows revenge. Snowpiercer, 2013. 7 years after the world has become a frozen wasteland, the remnants of humanity inhabit a perpetually moving train that circles the globe, where class warfare, social injustice, and the politics of survival play out. The Dirty Dozen. During World War II, a rebellious U.S. Army major is assigned a dozen convicted murderers to train and lead them into a mass assassination mission of German officers. Training Day, 2001. A rookie cop spends his first day as a Los Angeles narcotics officer with a rogue detective who isn't what he appears to be. Dune. A noble family becomes embroiled in a war for control over the galaxy's most valuable asset while its heir becomes troubled by visions of a dark future. Inception, 2010. A thief who steals corporate secrets through the use of dream-sharing technology is given the inverse task of planting an idea into the mind of a CEO, but his tragic past may doom the project and his team to disaster. The Rock. A mild-mannered chemist and an ex-con must lead the counterstrike when a rogue group of military men, led by a renegade general, threaten a nerve gas attack from Alcatraz against San Francisco. Leon, the Professional. 12-year-old Matilda is reluctantly taken in by Leon, a professional assassin, after her family is murdered. An unusual relationship forms as she becomes his protégé and learns the assassin's trade. Hot Fuzz. An overachieving London police sergeant is transferred to a village where the easygoing officers object to his fervor for regulations, all while a string of grisly murders strikes the town. Dirty Harry. When a man calling himself the Scorpio Killer menaces San Francisco, tough-as-nails police inspector Dirty Harry Callahan is assigned to track down the crazed psychopath. Blade Runner 2049. Young Blade Runner K's discovery of a long-buried secret leads him to track down former Blade Runner Rick Deckard, who's been missing for 30 years. Sicario. An idealistic FBI agent is enlisted by a government task force to aid in the escalating war against drugs at the border area between the US and Mexico. Midnight Run. A bounty hunter pursues a former mafia accountant who is also being chased by a rival bounty hunter, the FBI, and his old mob boss after jumping bail. Vader Chennai. A young Charon player in North Chennai becomes a reluctant participant in a war between two warring gangsters. The Fugitive. Dr. Richard Kimball, unjustly accused of murdering his wife, must find the real killer while being the target of a nationwide manhunt led by a seasoned U.S. Marshal. Skyfall. James Bond's loyalty to M is tested when her past comes back to haunt her. When MI6 comes under attack, 007 must track down and destroy the threat, no matter how personal the cost. North by Northwest. A New York City advertising executive goes on the run after being mistaken for a government agent by a group of foreign spies, and falls for a woman whose loyalties he begins to doubt. Kill Bill, Volume 1. After awakening from a 4-year coma, a former assassin wreaks vengeance on the team of assassins who betrayed her. The Raid 2. Only a short time after the first raid, Rama goes undercover with the thugs of Jakarta and plans to bring down the syndicate and uncover the corruption within his police force. V for Vendetta. In a future British dystopian society, a shadowy freedom fighter, known only by the alias of V, plots to overthrow the tyrannical government with the help of a young woman. Aliens. Decades after surviving the Nostromo incident, Ellen Ripley is sent out to re-establish contact with a terraforming colony but finds herself battling the alien queen and her offspring. The French Connection. A pair of NYPD detectives in the Narcotics Bureau stumble onto a heroin smuggling ring based in Marseille, but stopping them and capturing their leaders proves an elusive goal. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. As Steve Rogers struggles to embrace his role in the modern world, he teams up with a fellow Avenger and SALD agent, Black Widow, to battle a new threat from history, an assassin known as the Winter Soldier. The Terminator. A human soldier is sent from 2029 to 1984 to stop an almost indestructible cyborg killing machine, sent from the same year, which has been programmed to execute a young woman whose unborn son is the key to humanity's future salvation. Dune, Part 2. Paul Atreides unites with Chani and the Freeman while seeking revenge against the conspirators who destroyed his family. Casino Royale. After earning 00 status and a license to kill, secret agent James Bond sets out on his first mission as 007. Bond must defeat a private banker funding terrorists in a high-stakes game of poker at Casino Royale, Montenegro. John Wick. An ex-hitman comes out of retirement to track down the gangsters who killed his dog and stole his car. Edge of Tomorrow. A soldier fighting aliens gets to relive the same day over and over again, the day restarting every time he dies. Elite Squad 2, The Enemy Within. After a prison riot, former Captain Nascimento, now a high-ranking security officer in Rio de Janeiro, is swept into a bloody political dispute that involves government officials and paramilitary groups. Die Hard 3. John McClane and a Harlem store owner are targeted by German terrorist Simon in New York City, where he plans to rob the Federal Reserve Building. Django Unchained. With the help of a German bounty hunter, a freed slave sets out to rescue his wife from a brutal plantation owner in Mississippi. Heat, 1995. A group of high-end professional thieves start to feel the heat from the lapped when they unknowingly leave a clue at their latest heist. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. The fragile peace between apes and humans is threatened as mistrust and betrayal threaten to plunge both tribes into a war for dominance over the earth. Goldfinger. While investigating a gold magnet smuggling, James Bond uncovers a plot to contaminate the Fort Knox gold reserve. Raiders of the Lost Ark. In 1936, archaeologist and adventurer Indiana Jones is hired by the U.S. government to find the Ark of the Covenant before the Nazis can obtain its awesome powers. R.R. A fictitious story about two legendary revolutionaries and their journey away from home before they started fighting for their country in the 1920s. Top Gun, Maverick. After 30 years, Maverick is still pushing the envelope as a top naval aviator, but must confront ghosts of his past when he leads Top Gun's elite graduates on a mission that demands the ultimate sacrifice from those chosen to fly it. Terminator 2, Judgment Day. A cyborg, identical to the one who failed to kill Sarah Connor, must now protect her 10-year-old son John from an even more advanced and powerful cyborg. Children of Men. In 2027, in a chaotic world in which women have somehow become infertile, a former activist agrees to help transport a miraculously pregnant woman to a sanctuary at sea. Gladiator, 2000. A former Roman general sets out to exact vengeance against the corrupt emperor who murdered his family and sent him into slavery. The Bourne Identity. A man is picked up by a fishing boat, bullet-riddled and suffering from amnesia, before racing to elude assassins and attempting to regain his memory. Old Boy. After being kidnapped and imprisoned for 15 years, Odesu is released, only to find that he must track down his captor in 5 days. Mission Impossible Fallout. Ethan Hunt and his IMF team, along with some familiar allies, race against time after a mission gone wrong. Matrix. When a beautiful stranger leads computer hacker Neo to a forbidding underworld, he discovers the shocking truth: the life he knows is the elaborate deception of an evil cyber-intelligence. The Dark Knight. When the menace known as the Joker wreaks havoc and chaos on the people of Gotham, Batman must accept one of the greatest psychological and physical tests of his ability to fight injustice. Mad Max, Fury Road. In a post-apocalyptic wasteland, a woman rebels against a tyrannical ruler in search for her homeland with the aid of a group of female prisoners, a psychotic worshipper and a drifter named Maximum. Die Hard, 1988. A New York City police officer tries to save his estranged wife and several others taken hostage by terrorists during a Christmas party at the Nakatomi Plaza in Los Angeles.